And there he is.
Can you see me?
So, bro, I got you.
All right, because I don't.
Yeah,
something screwed up on my end. Okay, there we go. What's up, everybody? Thank you for tuning in. Welcome back to the Crypto Remora. This is our Monday morning live stream to get your week started. We go over price analysis, chart analysis. We look at topics, airdrops, whatever the fuck you want to talk about. That's what we talk about. And
we talk about demonetization early on in the stream as well.
We talk about it all, baby. All.
No, the language barrier. You don't have to worry about us being monetized on the Crypto Remora because we have filthy little mouths, and we are trying to work on that. We're trying to work.
Are we? Are we though?
I mean, I let loose in spaces, dude. I listened back to my space thing on when I was on their other one. I cuss a lot on spaces.
Oh, dude,
on YouTube, I'm trying, man. I'm trying, but sometimes you got to let it slip.
It's tough, dude. It is hard. Look, we got some viewers up in here, man. We got some viewers up in here, baby.
We do. They're coming in.
Look, man. Look, you know, I thought this was it, dude. I thought this was it. And we were finally getting some price action, man. Landed dude. The trading gods were with me the other day, man. I think it was Saturday, Sunday, something like that. And dude, I was landing them, bro. I hit like 6 back to back, lost 2, and then I hit like 4, and I just kept going. And of course, by the end of it, I lost, all the money that I'd won, So can't really brag about it too much, but I mean, dude, we're finally getting some price action, man. I was just excited to finally be able to start trading again. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, we've been waiting this entire time to finally start trading. We finally got the opportunity to do some trading, man, and it felt very good. Very, very good. So how did our price predictions turn out, dude? I don't even remember what we called, to be honest with you.
I remember I was saying, I think I called 81 something. So, of course, we bounced. We filled the gap, though. The most important thing,
right?
The most important thing is that the Crypto Remora, we warned you guys 2 months ago. First of all, we warned you about the CME gap 2 months ago, and then I kind of was watching it, and I wasn't talking about it a whole lot. And then me and Wes were both kind of thinking, okay, what are they going to do? Are the market makers going to push us up to where we need to go to our target yet, or are they going to bring us down to the CME gap? And we were trying to think about it over the last couple of weeks, and it was really harping on us. And lo and behold, you guys, we called that shiz. We called it. We told you. We warned you. And here's what happened. We went down. We hit that gap. And I was expecting a bounce, to be honest.
We were. That's what we talked about more so on the last live stream.
But
after the CME.
I didn't. Exactly. I just didn't think. It's almost like we got right off stream and it happened. Remember, because you called me and you were like, dude, it just happened. I called
you right. It just happened. We were waiting on it, dude. We were sitting on the live stream like, it's coming. It's coming. And I think based on both of our projections were, if we fill the CME gap, which it is about to happen, we're going to bounce and we're going to be somewhere in the 90Ks. It's going to be the upper 80s, 90Ks almost immediately.
Yes. Yeah, we did.
By the time we get, and then I think we both called for a pullback right after. I'm not sure. I'd have to go look. But the fact is, dude, we are sitting around, 89, 90K right now? The last time I checked. Don't quote me on that, dude. I just had to reset my whole freaking computer. And
I'm pulling her up right here. Yeah, we're sitting right at 90. So here's the thing. We had another gap at $93,000, I believe, and that could be why we just went up to 93. You guys, they hit the first gap at 80. Market maker said, "Screw it, let's wreck them on the way." I said this would happen. I said these assholes are gonna freaking bounce it up and down. They're gonna wreck people. If you are trading these markets, you need to be careful. These market makers are assholes, and they're gonna be playing games trying to get you to sell your stuff. I'm warning you right now. You have to be very careful and don't be scared either. Don't be scared because this is part of how it works, you guys. This is the way this market is. But Wes, I just want to say this real quick. The CME gap at 80, we hit it. We pumped up to 93. They took the gap at 93, and now we're having that retrace that I was expecting. We don't have enough strength to go.
Let me ask
to 102 yet. Not yet.
Let me ask you though. All All right, so we bounced all the way from 70 something K. So it was like 78K, right? We go from 78K all the way to 93.
Mm-hmm.
And guys, we've said this on the channel before. If we bounce that hard or we make a move that fast, it creates a fair value gap above or below you, and we're gonna come back and fill that fair value gap. That's just the way it works. The faster you go up, the faster you're gonna come back down.
Right.
And that's part of it. But are we having a healthy retracement back to 80K, going from 78, let's say 80,000, going from 80,000 to 93, back to 90, and then back up? Are we having a healthy market structure? Is that what we're doing right now? Or do you think that this is a Bart Simpson all the way back down?
Honestly, that's what we're going to get into when we get into the segment, when you pull up Lux Algo, because I haven't had time to look at it yet. But just on the basic sentiment of what's going on, I see everybody, the big story on all the channels, and you guys know we watch Altcoin Daily, Cryptos Are Us, Lark, Chico Crypto, Crypto Zombie. I've watched every single pretty much video of all those guys for the last 4 years every day. So I keep current. If you guys are watching other content creators, chances are I'm watching the same ones you are. I do that so that they can do all the homework for the news on a lot of the news stuff. And then I just kind of pick and choose what I like from them. Yeah. But something that Lark was talking about today was very interesting. And then I did a little bit of research myself. This comment on the executive order, it's people are saying, oh, well, it's a strategic reserve. Oh, it's a stockpile. There's this big argument going on. And there's this
shit.
Right. There's this big thing going on. And then it's like XRP and Solana and Cardano. And everyone's all pissy, right? Like that.
So mad.
If you hold XRP and Cardano and Solana, you're happy right now.
Congrats.
Okay. First of all. Second of all, if you don't hold those and you're like, why didn't he say Bitcoin? I just have to address this real quick.
Well,
and then
we can come back and say Bitcoin. He made a post and then he came back and made another post and he was like, obviously Bitcoin and ETH too.
But here's the thing. Let me explain why he didn't put that. Hello. What did Soros do? What did George Soros do to make his millions? He told everybody that copper was shit, and he went out and shorted copper on the market. So he shorted it. Meanwhile, with his other hand, he was buying all of the copper in the freaking world. He was buying it all up, saying how bad it was and literally putting shorts on the market. So everyone else thought, oh, this is shit. I don't want to buy that. So he got it cheaper and he accumulated a F ton of it. And then boom, he that's how he made his big millions, and shorting the London bank and ruining the country, basically. But that's another story. For right now, what my point is, don't be concerned that Trump is not over advertising Bitcoin, you guys. Shut the hell up. We want Trump to accumulate in the US. He wants to be number one. And he told you weeks ago he wants to be number one. So let the man do what he's being smart about this. By using XRP, Cardano, and Solana, he's accomplishing two things. The first thing, he's helping the little guys in the US. If you guys hold those coins, congratulations, because he's helping you. I think that's why he's doing those three. He knows that that's the majority of retail. He knows that a lot of the little guys bought those three coins. Okay. So I think it's a good thing. Number one. Number two, he's not over advertising Bitcoin and ETH because China and Russia and Ukraine and every other country in the world, Arabs, the freaking Dubai, they're all buying Bitcoin. Larry Fink, they're all buying Bitcoin. So Trump doesn't want to like over toot the horn because he's, keep it calm. When you're accumulating, the whales need the price action to be a little calmer. So you have to understand the mindset of someone who's dealing with billions of dollars versus you and I putting in $20 at a time. It's a different strategy. They can't use the same strategy we do. So that I just wanted to address that for any new noobs out there, because I didn't understand that when I first came in the market, and now I'm starting to understand the real macro and
not only that, dude. Like I think not only that, but like it should be obvious at this point, man. What do we start with? We started with Bitcoin, right? Like it's
absolutely
it should be obvious. Like there was a post, I can't remember who made it. It was the Bitcoin therapist made a comment under Eric Trump's or whoever's Trump's, one of the juniors, I don't know, whatever, under one of his posts, and was like, this was the dumbest thing the administration could have done. I'm summarizing what he said, but he was basically saying everybody is disappointed in this decision in which he made. And he was posting it under the post where Donald Trump said, named off all the altcoins and didn't mention Bitcoin or ETH. I mean, there were some guys even in Prime Apes that were like, no mention of ETH at all. And then literally 30 seconds later, he made another post and he said, obviously Bitcoin and Ethereum as well, but the altcoins too. Like, people are getting pissed off. The maxis are getting pissed off that they're adding those tokens.
The maxis are always pissed.
And then
maxis are always pissed.
Yeah, it's like, dude, chill the fuck out, man. Like,
it's been 2 weeks. Bro? It's been 2 weeks, y'all. Listen, give the man his fair chance and credit. My God, he's done more in 2 weeks for crypto than Biden did in 4 years.
Crypto already. Bitcoin is, as of right now, Bitcoin is about roughly 60% of the entire crypto market. And then you go to Ethereum. Ethereum, I don't know, shit. Where's it sitting at? Like 10% last time I looked. Probably a little higher now. But, like, come on. That's a big chunk of the entire market. You're talking about Bitcoin and ETH taking up 70% of the entire market, man. And then crypto is that 30%, dude. Don't forget the 30%. Like, that would literally be him leaving out 60% or 40% of the rest of the crypto markets, dude. Like, it's not just Bitcoin, man. Get over yourself. Yes, we want Bitcoin as a strategic reserve. Yes, that is probably what they will hold majority of. But, man, like, crypto and tech and the technology and everything else that comes along with it is also what they're seeing here. Not just Bitcoin, dude. So, yeah, to the maxis, calm the fuck down, man.
Yeah, and I've got some interesting things on the weekly and the monthly chart, are two charts that I'm looking at in particular. The daily, we're getting a little pullback, about 3% down on Bitcoin right now. The alts are obviously not doing a whole hell of a lot right now. You just had a big move up, and now Bitcoin's kind of calming down. Even the Ethereum coins are still not fully recovered. They took a very massive hit. So there's very, very, very interesting things going on with the price action right now that you have to we got to really put our thinking cap on for this, because it's the hard part's over with, right? We hit the CME gap. That was the hard part. We didn't know when that was going to hit. Check mark. Okay, so now we're good with that. We hit the CME gap at 93. So what's on these market makers' mind? You still have that range that hasn't been traded a whole lot, and we'll look at that in a sec. But do we play? I think what your question was, do we play this range for a while, or do we have that immediate bounce and we go up? Do we head up? Because we got to beat 97K, 97, 98K. We got to get through that first.
That is the threshold. Yeah.
Right. And then we got 102 that's going to offer a little bit of BS, maybe, between 97 and 102. But I think that range between 97 and 102, that's a $6,000. That ain't shit. That's the same range. So the question is, do we have enough strength to hit that and go up? We didn't even make it past there, right? We hit 93, and now we're coming back down to 90. But on the bullish side,
range low, though. We are back in the range low.
We're back in the bottom of it. So it's potential that we could, it's we're at that threshold, man. I feel like we're at that point in the market, Wes, where it's almost go time. Like, we're so freaking close. Close.
I do too, man. I mean, what I'm seeing on the charts, dude, like, 93 felt good. That was a huge move. But to go to 93 and only come back to 90 right now, dude, that is
nice pullback.
That is good, dude. That is good. We should be celebrating this.
It is
good.
We
should be celebrating this move. Yeah.
And there is a drop on the 7 on the weekly, where you showing support right about where we're at. If you pull up the weekly, because I'm kind of looking at it on there. But the interesting thing is March being typically bad for stocks may end up timing this perfectly for crypto, because crypto generally does pretty well in March. So we're right. I mean, everything's lining up, dude. Everything is lining up. And it is going to be only a matter of time before we get that lift off and people are like, oh shit, we weren't ready. That time is coming. So make sure right now, most important, before we get into hype in the charts, most important thing, if you're in crypto now, if you're new, subscribe to this channel. Number one, we make good calls and we show you good stuff. Number two, now is not the time to be selling. I think you should be dollar cost averaging. If we do go a little lower, you should buy more. And you should have bought the dip. We told you to buy the dip. But Wes, I think it's I don't think we need to mess around too much. I think we should get right in to some charts, man, because it's crucial. We're at a crucial moment here. We're actually getting some moves. It's exciting again. Make sure you guys hit like, hit subscribe if you can, please.
Yeah, let's I see some new people, man, in here from actually YouTube, man. Our YouTube views are starting to click up a little bit. There was just about 8 people in here, but yeah, thank you guys for being here. If you are watching us from YouTube, make sure to like and subscribe on there as well. And our X fam, we see you, man. We know you're here. We love you guys.
X fam is where it's at. I mean, you guys are about
Always
3 times as much, about 3 times what the YouTube viewers are, which
on the live streams.
On the live streams.
Yeah, now our YouTube people, they show up after. They show up after for us, but all good, man.
We got to beat that algorithm still. We got to beat that algo.
All right, man. Let's jump into it, dude. So I just want to look at the daily real fast. Let me make sure. How do we look? I can't ever see when I switch it. Okay. There we are. Okay. This is the daily, man. All right. So you guys know, if y'all been following along, man, we've been hitting this flipped into support, and we've just kind of been tracking along to the downside on this area below us. We finally fell through it. This is a falling wedge right here. We fell through it. Normally we would jump out of this, which a lot of people thought we were going to do. And then, I think we all agree the macro, like the shit happening outside of crypto and in the markets or whatever, has kind of created this drop right there with the wars and the tariffs and all the stupid shit, man, getting the reserve denied or whatever. And I think that is kind of what created this drop. But no matter what, and we had our CME gap, right? We went and filled that, check mark done. Sierra talked about that a lot, the CME gap. Now, what are we doing? We've come back into this range high. Don't even focus on this area here, this downsloping area of resistance and support. I'm just talking about this area that we've held and been in for so long. Now on the daily, we are back into that range low. And actually, we can pull this down here. We do have our little areas down here that held up a little bit. You can see we held up here. And then back here, we did bounce around, bounce off that area and come back and hit it. But I just mean like the major areas of support and resistance. We are back in that. We're barely in it, but we are in it, right? We want to see us come back out of that. But if you look, I mean, this entire move brought us back, and we're only hitting the 0.382 now on this big move from 78 all the way to 95, dude. 95. What other asset does that? Only Bitcoin. So that's a big move. And this pullback, yes, we are having a nice major pullback, but we're not going to engulf this green candle, and we're still above the 0.382. So that is bullish, and we're back in the range, in that range, in the range low. So those are good things, guys. Those are good things. We want to see that, right? Thoughts on that, Sierra? Just that move right there.
Yeah, I think you nailed it with what you said about the zone. I like what you said about that, because I see whale blips. We have our blue box zone, and then under it, that little tiny hidden level that the whales are sneaky little bastards. They don't want you to pay attention to. That's where the whales live, those little tiny levels. So they won't let it really bounce there a whole lot, but that's big money that's hitting the brakes on that. Yeah, those little Yeah,
if you line up my crosshairs with this right here, this was a liquidity gap right here, or not a liquidity gap. This is a liquidity wick right here, where you come down and then just snatch it all right back up and then head to the upside. That's just a liquidity grab. And look where that wick takes us to. If you look all the way to the right on this daily candle. So we've pulled back to that liquidity wick right here, that grab, and we've come back up into the range low. We're sitting at the bottom of that range low, but this is still acting as support, these little wicks right here. So that's huge, man. To come down after that big of a move, I mean, what was that, dude? Let me measure that. To come down after a big move like that and just hit that wick and come back up, I mean, that's huge, man. That's a 21% move in just one day, dude. Just one day, dude. Just popping back up.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. The zone is important, and those little whale blips underneath are very important because you kind of get in that bounce right on that level, like you said. And so that shows me two things. It shows me the market makers very quickly did what we said they would do. They would fill the gap, and then that shit would get bought up right away. Like you didn't see Bitcoin trading at 79,000 for 3 weeks. That's like these people calling for 40,000 Bitcoin bear market and all this shit. Okay, why didn't it just happen? Oh, and they'll say, well, you're getting a red candle now, so maybe that's what it's happening now. It looks like a downtrend. Think of this, Wes. The whales are looking at the same charts we are, right? What does it look like we're in right now? It looks like we're kind of just bouncing up and we're in a downtrend still, right? You don't think that that's on purpose? You know what I'm saying? They wouldn't let it get past. You know what I mean? We're making lower highs. We're making
lower highs and lower lows.
Yeah. So they're painting a picture of a downtrend still, and they're oh, we're hitting it as resistance. That's fine. I'm talking psychologically right now. Not so much TA, but psychologically, retail is scarred from what just happened. Everyone was angry last week. Everyone's scared. Trump's ruining. Orange man bad, ruining the world again. So everyone's going crazy, and meanwhile, Bitcoin on the monthly, on the yearly, maybe not on the monthly, on the yearly, is still in an uptrend. We're not in a freaking downtrend. This is only short-term noise, you guys. Keep that in mind. This is very, very short-term stuff we're looking at right here. This is like, this is not macro.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, starting from here over to where we are now, that is technically that is a downtrend. But we get our 5 waves. 5 waves to the downside. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Peaked out on the bottom. And now, if we're going to reverse, now would be the time, especially after filling that CME gap, man. So this is bullish. This is a 0.382 candle going up 21%. Like that's huge, man. And again, we hit this area of support, that little liquidity grab from the back. And now we're getting a retracement candle, which is normal to move up as fast as we did. So I'm kind of expecting this to be done with, this downtrend to be done with, and we can get back to our macro uptrend. So this would be the end of wave 3 that we've talked about on the weekly chart. That looks a little bit better, right?
Look at that wick. Look at that wick.
Yeah,
my God, look at that.
That looks better, dude, because a lot of times when you're doing these Elliott waves, you will come close. The extreme of 4 and the extreme of 1 come very close. So for us to just be up here, it's almost unsatisfying if you are an Elliott wave trader. But this right here, this looks very good now, man. So now we can kind of continue in our uptrend, our macro uptrend, finish that last wave, man, for the cycle. And I'm excited, man. I'm excited. To see that pullback today was really good to see, man.
So you're saying in Elliott wave theory, so the 1 and the 4 usually meet on the same line is what you're saying. The 4 generally pulls back.
Generally, they'll get really close, especially on the daily. On the weekly, this is probably as close as I would expect them to get.
So that's what my question is, being that we almost wicked there. That's not like getting a full candle body or like getting a bunch of candles that are definitely hitting it. Maybe that's just because of the intense amount of buying pressure, number 1, limited supply, number 2, number 3, COVID delayed our price action by a couple of years. So that could be what's factoring this kind of thing in, where you would normally have that pullback to 1, consolidate, and then keep moving. You've got so much other stuff happening, and maybe that's why we're getting that. The thing I was going to ask you to do is to pull up our EMAs again, because the EMAs show me the candles cutting through the EMAs. That's been my best guide on the chart to see if we're going to snap back. And we did snap back perfectly, actually. And now I think one more, I do think we have one more downward movement. That could have been what we had today. But then again, tomorrow we could just retrace the red candle we had and then get that other downside move one more time. But I am expecting, if it plays out the way the last pattern played out, I'm expecting at least one more little set of candles to kind of you know, here's the EMA. You go up, you slice down through it first, then you go up as resistance. You come down one more time. You can see it on that previous pattern.
Yeah.
But you got to have,
Well, yeah, I'll pull them up.
But that's what I'm waiting for. I think we're right in it. We're right in that part of this pattern is what I think.
So I just want to show this. This is our Fibonacci extension. And then extension. So this kind of gives us an idea where wave 5 could go after this move up and that pullback. And our targets are still the same, man. They're above they're above 150. This move could put us above 150. That pullback was healthy. And then the very top is 178. We can go further than that. There's still people calling for 200,000+ Bitcoin. We don't know, man. Like if this goes through and they start buying Bitcoin for their reserves or adding to it, I guess I should say, we could very well see a number for Bitcoin that nobody's expecting. So I just wanted to point that out.
I'm still calling 275. My call is not moving, dude. I'm ironclad cement. I don't give a shit what happens in the short term. It doesn't matter to me. All roads point to 250 to 275 for me for this cycle. And if I'm wrong, I'm going to be damn wrong. Okay. Yeah, but I don't think I am. I think we're going there, bro.
Yeah.
And that's my conservative, West. I'm being conservative on that call.
Right. On the 4 hour, I just want to break it down to the 4 hour. On the 4 hour, you can see a little more detail of this area of resistance flipped into support, what's kind of been going on here. And you can see this move that we've made. I mean, look how healthy that is, dude. That is a healthy move, man. That's healthy movement right there. We bottomed out, got our top, came up, and now we're looking to put in that last wave on on the micro, I guess you would say, on a smaller scale. On the 4 hour, you can see we're getting a nice green candle bouncing right here, dude. So not only are we above in this area in the range low, we're also bouncing with a nice green candle on the 4 hour that could start taking us up here. This is a good sign. This looks good. This looks good. And matter of fact, this would be when you would want to put your trade in. So like right now is a prime time to put a trade in. It really is, man. You're on support. And we have some nice structure right here on the 4 hour. So just wanted to point that out, guys. If anybody's looking for a trade, that would be a good one. All right. I think default is the one. Default is the 50 and the 20. That's the daily.
Can you go to the other pattern first, just so we can get reference?
I mean,
I just want to show you the candle thing I'm talking about. I know you know what I'm talking about, but I want to show the people what.
Which one?
So zoom out a little bit, and so you can see both full patterns. Okay.
You me do the weekly? Probably be easier for you. Well, the weekly's not going to show you.
Yeah, do that and then zoom in. Do that and then zoom in, I think. Okay. This is perfect. If you can zoom in just a little bit more, make it a little bigger. Just there you go. All right. So this is what I'm explaining here. It's that snap through. We had a bigger. You can notice on the you see where that orange ring is. You got a yellow circle around that white candle, the orange circle, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, so just before that, you can see the candles broke through the EMA, right? Mm-hmm. Then you had to pop back up, hit your head on resistance. You chopped like 1, 2, 3 times through that EMA, and then you continued your move. This is what I was talking about a couple weeks ago about the EMA, you guys. I said that most likely, even though we were up there and nobody wanted to hear it then, when we were super bullish and going to the moon, I reminded you guys, keep things in perspective. The EMAs go like this, and then they get close together, and then they keep rolling. We already had a nice move up. So what's it time for? The EMAs need to come back together. And when they come back together, what happens? You get that 1, 2, 3 chop move. So be prepared. This is my call for the next 3-4 weeks ish, maybe. I think we chop through the EMAs just like we did on that last pattern. I think that's what you're going to see play out. So yes, there's going to be trading. You can trade this. You can trade this market because it'll be a little more volatile. But I would recommend to everyone, be careful because they already showed you they're going to try to psych you out and be like, oh, I mean, they're going to hit you with everything, dude. The race for Bitcoin, mark my words, the race for Bitcoin is on. because now, especially because Trump said he wants to be number one, there's a line of people out there now that just want to fight him just on that. So you better get ready, you guys, because the whales are not going to play nice. This is shark-infested waters, and they're going to hit you with anything and everything they can.
It is PvP, unfortunately, guys. So stay ahead, man. Keep watching us. We're going to stay ahead of it for you. You don't even have to do any of your research. Just Monday, 12 o'clock, be here. And Thursday, 7 p.m., be here. We give you the beginning of the week and the end of the week of what to expect. So far, we've done really well with that. Especially Sierra over the last 2 weeks, man. He has been making this call. I've been seeing, and Sierra, you see it too, man. A lot of similarities here. A lot of similarities.
Absolutely.
The good thing is we know where the levels are, and if we fall below those, where we're going to next. That we can see. And
you see
that
Wes, real quick. You see that rounding top, like on that last one to the left of that yellow circle?
Right here?
No, on the bottom pattern. The yellow circle on the bottom pattern.
Oh.
You see how the EMAs were kind of arching and then they got close, right? Now look where we are on our EMA, you guys. We're doing that. We're arching over. So what I think is going to happen, that top line is going to curve over, right? It's going to come down just a little, and the blue line is going to do the same, but it's going to go up slightly. And I think price action, your golden zone for Bitcoin, if I had to draw a marker what Bitcoin's going to do, I think we get that movement. I don't know how many chops. I don't have a crystal ball.
It makes sense, dude. It makes sense.
We should do that. That's the call, I think.
It makes sense because not only have I been talking about this area looking exactly the same up here, and I mean, I'm talking everything, dude. Price action, indicators, everything is lining up to look exactly how it did back here, except for a little bit of the timing, dude. But the structure's still the same. We go up, down, up, down, up. We just chop around, up, down. And now we are finally getting to where that, like Sierra's talking about, that blue top level, which is the 20-day moving average. That is going to cut through this candle. We can see that happening right now. That's going to cut through this candle. And we very well could go sideways for a couple of days, man, a couple of weeks, actually, just sideways and before we finally blast off. But either way, man, we might meet this 50-day average. If we do go sideways, this 50-day average is going to come up and act as support. And then hopefully we can bounce off of it a little bit. So
shortly.
Yeah.
We won't, you see on those candles right there in the last pattern, you guys, you only really had one or two big candles that were down like on that level.
Yeah.
So that's really what I'm looking for. And what's that level, Wes? Where, if you drew the blue line straight over, where would that put you?
I'd have to switch my screen. Hold on.
I think that's crucial because we're starting to get that flat line where I think that's what's going to be our. It would probably meet somewhere like June. Unfortunately, that would probably be somewhere around June, man. If you're talking about the price just going sideways from here, it would be like June. If we get a nice move up, it could push the EMA up a little bit faster. But one thing I will say, man, is that this move compared to this back here has been supercharged. As you can see, man, this is playing out over like twice as long as this is. Here, we're going up, down a little more violently. Here, we were going up and over until we finally got that capitulation wick, which we believe we had here. Till we finally got that capitulation wick, and then just kind of went sideways a little bit. But eventually, that was what took us to the upside. Do you see this as a capitulation wick? Do you think this is the bottom, Siri? No one's gonna like this comment I'm about to say, but I'm gonna say it anyway.
Say it, man.
Look, those three candles to the upside that took us out of the range, they were well earned. Look how long we went sideways. Okay, I'm not saying I'm bearish, but I am saying that range. There's either two things, and this is more psychological than it is charting or money. Do the whales want to trade that range? Because you could see that wick, like you said, it's a capitulation wick. It's kind of a capitulation wick. It's also where the whales own that level. You know, that's a whale zone right there. And for whatever reason, they're not letting it really trade there yet. Even with this bounce, you guys, like they're keeping us out of that range for a reason. When the market makers keep us out of a range, you need to be paying attention to that range, because you need to know in your mind, okay, they jumped over the range. Then what do they generally do? They end up coming back to it later. So
over the range.
That's what I'm saying. I'm just saying we could go back down to that other blue box if they wanted to, but I don't know if they're going to. And that's a very tough call. Like you're saying, we go sideways till June. I don't know about that either, because there's so much.
Yeah, I don't think so.
There's so much craziness going on, dude. Maybe the EMA flips and just gets vertical again. You know?
I do. As you guys can see, we had that other blue box that was pulled up. Why is it not showing on the? Oh, I know what I did. Okay. So there's that other blue box. This is the weekly. We got that small little fucking thing here, and that is why I put that there. Oh, yeah, this right here. This little area from here up. Hold on, man. From here up, we got this little area that didn't hold up as support here. The top of it did here, but that's why I have that on the weekly in case people are wondering. But I mean, we're sitting right on top of that. So there is that small level. It didn't hold up last time. The top of it did, but if we fell through it, that's when we went down and capitulated. But as of right now, it is still holding up, and that's just something to kind of keep on your radar. It's not much, dude. It is not much, but it is there.
The other potential is, what if we just bounce on the upper band, not bounce, but I mean, have another up day and then another down day and just keep tapping the top of that line, because it looks like right before the major move, we tapped on that top line, like you could see on the previous pattern. 1, 2, 3, 4. You had about 4 candles right around that top line. So if that happens right now, maybe that's all we need for the next move. And I don't know, but I mean, the more important question I think right now is still, is this all we're going to get? I mean, are we fighting this hard to get to 120? Like, is this pattern the be all end all for Bitcoin? Like, would 120 be the top? Because that thing that guy Stefan said, it's really starting to bother my head a little bit. Not that I'm nervous about it, but the charts do look
I don't think, yes, there's a lot of similarities. We're getting the RSI. I'll just pull it up so people can see what the similarities are, because we don't want to ignore it. But if you look at the past cycles, what do? We get these 2 red candles. That was the first one. Then we got the second one, these little sell dots on the MACD, right? The oversold sell signals on the MACD. We did get those, and we have them now. But I want to stress this, man. We also got a red one back here. That was COVID. We didn't get one back here. We got 3 green buy orders back here. We got 2 here. We went up, and I've said this before. We've gone up. It only took us 800 and some change days to get back above this. You look at back here, it took us 1,100 days to get back above the previous all-time high. So the speed, when you're looking at something like the MACD or the RSI, speed is going to change a lot of things, man. It's going to change the rate at which the price is changing, and it's going to set off these signals. So I think the fact that we just went up so fast and so early has caused us to go down and sideways, which is healthy, but also put in this first red sell signal when it really only should have came in, when it really should come in at the top. And I think that's all this is, man. I think that's all this is. We did not consolidate anywhere near that, except for right here, except for the rollover. That was the FTX shit. And we're kind of seeing that here, but we're not seeing anything that looks similar to this.
Where's the top of that blue zone? The top of the second pattern, the pattern that just happened.
Yeah.
Where is that?
Right here.
Not that one. The one under it, 2 under that. The one. Yeah, that one. Where's that price?
That's that 73,000 everybody was calling.
Okay. So here's the thing. There's 2 things. Number one, the red sell signals are kind of, you got to take those with a grain of salt, like Wes just said, because things change, right? So you can't say, well, we're going back to 70K because of that. You can't say that, but in the same breath, I will tell you this. that range looks real juicy to a lot of people. Like
right here. Yes, it does.
Yeah.
That's why they went there.
Nobody has traded in there. Number one. Number two, nobody got to buy Bitcoin at that price. Number three, everybody's about to want to accumulate Bitcoin. And why would you want $99,000 Bitcoin when you can get $73,000 Bitcoin?
You can see what happened when they tried to get that $73,000 Bitcoin.
They tried.
So let's not get it twisted, everybody. And as Sierra's saying, they want this. They want this area right here. And they got a little taste of it back here.
Yeah, quick.
But you see what happened whenever it did go there. We quickly come back up. But that doesn't mean that they can't just trade us sideways and down a little more to come back here. We went down so fast. That's why it came up so fast. If we went down slow, that would be a good setup for them to accumulate for sure, man, for sure.
And this is the other thing. Based on the previous pattern that just happened, if we get a similar move, right, we kind of need the EMAs to go sideways a little bit. And here's the thing: if we did go just chop until June, right? If we did that, I know everybody's gonna be like, "Oh my God!" But here's the thing: if we chop till June, maybe get a couple candles down to that 73,000. Go ahead, close a couple days down there for the hell of it. Let Fink and them get their cheap Bitcoin because they want it. Yeah. Let them go ahead and play that shit. We're still in an uptrend, number one. So I'm not going to be scared. If we go to 73,000, I don't give a shit. I'm not selling, and you shouldn't either. Number one. Number two, if that happens, you still think $275,000 is not going to happen in October, November? We'll probably get a freaking $500,000 Bitcoin if that shit happens, dude. If we trade sideways for a couple more months and we charge up that much energy, I'm telling you what, bro, that could be the best thing to ever happen for everybody. So don't get bored and say, I'm out, I quit because it's going to be another 4 months. Nah, dude, if they want to go ahead, drag the shit out another 5 months. Like I care. I've been here 4 years. I don't care. Drag it out. I'm a lifer.
This is a good opportunity. The people that were screaming about $108,000 Bitcoin, saying they wanted it lower, this is your opportunity, man. You're probably not going to get any more of these. Moving forward at the end of the cycle, this is your opportunity right now. Yeah. And I just want to comment on this. This red candle that we got back here, the signal, kind of makes me think it's something like this. Like we knew something was going wrong with the economy up in this area, and then we got our COVID crash or whatever. So I'm kind of looking at this almost in the same light. And then you can see it happen back here as well. The red 1 and then 2. And then 1, 2, and then we had the FTX shit. So I'm kind of looking at that. Last cycle was the only one we got 3 of those in, and it could happen again, man. We could get 3 more. That last one's going to be the top.
It feels like we just came out of the freaking bear market, and the bull cycle's about to just start. So psychologically, the shit don't make sense. Everyone calling for a bear market right now. Where's your bear market going to go? Your bear market bottom is going to be freaking 69 to 74,000. Hello, we just hit 79,000. So if we're in a bear market, we just scraped the bottom already. Like, is it going to be all that much painful if this was the bear market? No, but I don't believe that this is. And none of the indicators say it. I do think we owe a little more sideways, though. To be honest with you, I think we should go a little bit sideways. For a little bit before we go to the next move up, because I don't want 120 to be it. Like, you know what I'm saying?
No, it's not going to be. And I think we got to keep in perspective that, man, it's only February or it's March now. It just turned March. I have my targets and my time frame set for the end of the year, as most people do. But my exact month is November, I think it is. So if we do go to November, October is when I'm going to start selling. I want to be all the way out by November. So look how far away that is, guys. That's this dot right here. That's October.
Oh, that's right perfect. That's perfect for Euphoria. For the Euphoria phase, that would be beautiful chart work if we chop sideways a little bit for that.
But I do think that this lines up as well.
And that's that freaking tap on the fucking bottom line where the 4 lines up, man.
Yeah, man. So, and it was a retest of the 50-day. Even though we didn't get all the way there, that is a retest in my opinion, man. It came down to that area, and that's a retest in my opinion.
Yeah, that's nice.
But just throwing this on the chart, man, you can see that little bit of space. You can see what can happen in that little bit of space. And I'm just kind of pointing towards this right here.
Yeah, the euphoria stage.
Yeah,
that's the final peak run, you guys. That's the final, like, all right, boom, this is where all the money, and that's where that's where I was calling for 275K.
Yeah. You see how long it took us, right? 168 days. 168 days to make all of that on Bitcoin. And if we go to October, bare minimum, that's 231 days, y'all.
So that gives us 30,
plenty of time.
That gives us like 70 more days to accumulate before the final run. So you got about a month and a half, and that lines up with April, May, June pump, and then you get a cool off in the summer, and then October, November, December, you freaking run for the last run. And that's if in a perfect world. They could, you got a lot of shady individuals getting into Bitcoin now. So you got to be careful with that call, because that would be a normal quote unquote bull run. But I still think something plays out very similar to that. And I think we're pretty damn spot on with the timing of it. Lark and them it's interesting. A lot of those guys were calling for end of 2026 to be like the top. And I was like,
I don't understand why.
I don't understand that call either.
Everything that I've put, I think they're thinking it's the extended cycle theory.
Yeah, I ain't playing that bullshit.
Yeah, fuck that, dude. We did that last time, man.
Yeah, I ain't
super
doing that.
Cycle, bro. Super cycle. We haven't even hit 100K yet.
Well, actually, Lark tells you to sell. Like Lark's not
I like Lark. Lark's not the one that.
But the thing is, you're right. The super cycle theory is going to wreck people.
It's going to wreck a lot of people.
But maybe I need to go back and watch his other video, what exactly he was saying. But he's not the only one. I've seen a lot of people saying that the top for this bull run, like, in other words, this whole year is going to be great. It's not going to be a bad year. It's going to go up slowly, but the euphoria stage isn't going to really hit until 2026.
Oh, and that's usually when the euphoria top. Oh, for sure. Yeah, that could be it for sure. That's when retail's all the way in and stuff. But I think that what's important here is to understand, guys, that we are still in this uptrend. This is good market structure. That pullback was very healthy, and we closed the gap. We're still above the 50. We came down, touched it above the 50. And if anything, I'm with Sierra. I think we chop along, in this area, but 98 is the level to beat. That's that red line that we've talked about that we keep hitting our head on when we were consolidating here. 98, 99 is that level to beat, man. So let's focus on that, and let's focus on staying above this kind of final line in the sand for the wick, and for the body staying up in the range low to the range high.
I'm gonna make it real easy, guys. The range, I'm gonna give you a bigger range than you're going to want to hear, but I'm giving you a good range. Expect, and then if we get anything better, we get it better. But just go into this next month or so, hope for 120 and hope for the breakout. But if it doesn't happen, which I don't actually even want it to happen now, I'd rather go sideways. But the range, this is a big range, but I'm just doing it to give you a good zone. 80,000 to 100,000. Okay. Take it from there. But in between that big ass range is where all this chopping is going to happen. And, could they bring it back down to 80 again? You could say, well, no, because that wick was bought up so quick. It was. But look how long people were waiting for cheaper Bitcoin. They were sitting there chomping at the bit. If we go sideways a little bit, that sort of sense of urgency gets lost again. And then you get bored, people sell a little bit, and then you could get that other drop and you're sideways. But the $80,000 to $100,000 range, we played the top of the range. Maybe it's time to go to the bottom of the range for a little bit, right? Just a little bit, go to the bottom of that range before we go back up above 102. And I know nobody wants to hear that shit. I know you guys don't want to hear it, but the reality is we cheated and we jumped over that level, and, and we've only gone sideways a short bit, you guys.
Yeah.
I mean, Bitcoin was worth $3,000 3 years ago. Keep things in perspective. You guys are ready for a $200,000
3 years
Bitcoin.
Ago.
Well,
maybe like 5 years ago.
Yeah. Well, I guess it was 4.5.
I know. We've been here for a while, Siri. We are old, man. OGs. I think we're considered OGs at this point, man.
Yeah. Noobs will call us OGs because we got a couple, 3-4 years. We got a cycle under our belt. You got to have at least 1.5 cycles.
Yeah. So Yeah, man, I'm with you. I mean, we could, we wicked down here. That got eaten right back up. But what Sierra's saying, we could just kind of trend down and sideways for a while. I personally don't think it will.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute, Wes. What if this is just the first curve on the EMA, bro? Zoom out again. Go to that other pattern. I just noticed it. You see that first where it starts to veer up? It kind of went like that.
Here?
Yeah,
Here?
it goes up. Now follow it up. It looks like go up a little bit where your other line is. Go up to the right there. Go on that line. Go on that downward trend and stop right there. You see that little fake out dip on the top line, but it kept going up. What if that's what we get right now? In other words, what if this isn't the time for the top EMA to scoop down? Maybe this is just that little divot, and then we keep rolling up.
Yeah,
that would change things dramatically.
It really could. I mean, it could be. If you look at where we crossed on the MACD here,
and that's where
that's where that signal was.
Wow.
You look where we crossed.
Holy
here,
shit!
That was another wick, but I don't know, man. We've already come down and tested. I would look at it more to be like right here, because everything's not lining up perfectly, but it is lining up. There's just a subtle difference in timing and where the EMAs are, because this was a massive move. Think about the EMAs. We were in an uptrend since the bottom, pretty much. I mean, that's January 2023 all the way to March 2024, dude. So that's over a year and a couple of months. This move only took us so long, so the EMAs aren't as high as they normally would have been, I think. Did I say that right? Maybe I got it backwards. But yeah, I just think the placement of the EMAs is a little different just because of how long these moves took. Well, not really, because the 20, you're just only looking back 20 candles. 50, you're only looking back 50. So
that's what I'm saying. I'm talking. The one thing that doesn't change, the EMA doesn't really change too much. The direction is fairly slower on the EMAs than the candles. Candles move all the time. The EMAs are a lot slower to move. So
they're lagging.
You can draw the EMAs out easier than you can predict where the candles are going to go. And that's what I've been kind of watching more, is the EMAs. And so I'm just, it's hard to tell if we're going to do that. But either way, in between those two EMAs, you guys, that's almost probably a good range for where Bitcoin will go over the next month.
We go below that range. I don't know, man. I don't think that's good at all, because normally we stay above. I mean, we got above it back here and stayed above it.
You went below it on that last bull run. You chopped below it. Yeah, after the first peak, go over.
Nah, dude. Look, we might have wicked right there, but we didn't.
No, go over.
Oh, you talking about here?
Yeah, right there.
Yeah, but that was the Black Swan event. That was damn FTX and shit. Terra Luna.
No, not that. I mean, after that, we went under it.
Yeah, that's because you talking about here?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying, because we went through this so fast. We went down so fast that it brought those down and then back up faster. I just think the placement is fucked up because of the Black Swan event.
Well, either way, you have to touch that line sometimes to cool off. And if you get that euphoric, we just had another euphoric run. And we're doing exactly what I said we would do. We're coming
back.
The
50 or the 20? Because the 20, we can go through that all day.
I'm saying
the
both.
50 is what I don't think.
No, I'm saying both. I'm saying you chop through both. Like the last pattern, you chop through both lines. Look at it. Look at the last pattern. You went through the 20.
We didn't close below it though. We wicked.
I'm not talking about a close. I just mean you're touching both lines in candles.
Oh, I thought you meant like going directly through it. Like we're swimming directly through it. Because
if you get a war, you will, you'll go below that line. You can recover.
Man. We're just talking about the charts, the technicals. Yeah. We don't know what's going to happen.
I'm not predicting black swans. I'm not getting into that game. I'm just saying to not think that we could touch that blue line again is ludicrous.
Oh, we definitely could. That's not what I'm saying. We touched it here. We bounced off of it here. We almost damn near touched it here. We went.
And we got a wick. We got a little wick on it.
We got a body here. Yeah.
I still think we owe it to go in between those EMAs. I don't think the pain is over. In other words, I think we get a little more pain of sideways and down. Yeah. We're not going to 120 next week, dude. I mean, I could be wrong. Maybe the market makers are going to throw us all for a loop and just be like, you know what?
No,
they could, but it doesn't make sense. None of it makes sense to have the run yet. So
yeah, I'm with you, man. I think the biggest focus here would just be levels, man. If we're not unsure, and I mean technically we are, this is just sideways. We came back up and closed in this range, right? Where are we at now? We're within this range. You know, the wick, that was a nice little wick or whatever, but it got eaten right the fuck back up, and it caused a lot of things, a lot of indicators to go off. So I mean, we could just go down slowly and then just meet that 50-day and then bounce off the 50-day and then go into wave 5 for sure.
That's what I'm just saying. I watched this last cycle too. You got to understand, this is a 4-year theory I have. This isn't one I just made up. I've been watching the chart like you have every day for 4 years. So when I tell you this EMA chop, I've seen this happen at least 50 times. Like it happens a lot. So when it does happen, it's my biggest indicator of, okay, now we're safe for a run up. That's my real cement run. I like to see that chop between those a couple times. Yeah, that's almost like a cool off. And then you get
healthy.
That run.
Yeah, it is healthy, good. Man. It is healthy to bounce on it.
I know everybody wants instant Bitcoin to 200,000. Everybody wants 120 because we've been waiting for it. But the reality of the situation is this. The euphoric stage is going to be different than last time because you're dealing with more money too. You got to keep in mind, we're not under 100,000 Bitcoin. It was a lot easier to move Bitcoin from $9,000 to $40,000 than it is going to be to move Bitcoin from 97,000 to 120,000. Excuse me. That's going to be a much more significant amount of liquidity that has to flow in to make that move. So you have to balance that into. But we got everything lining up, guys. The global liquidity supply is coming. Everybody's turning their money printers on. Shit is happening. So this is the worst time to get bearish. I think that the whole wrap up is that it's bull market is not done. Not even close. And all these idiots out here shilling it that it is, you're watching the wrong channel, and you need to be tuned in over here because we're going to give you the real deal. And you should also, and this is a little segue, you should believe the hype. Those of you just tuning in, please hit the like and subscribe button. We got a good amount of viewers in here. I made a post. I had a request, Wes. My request is for you to look up and do some TA, do some Lux Algo on Hyperliquid and a couple of the cool projects over there. Because if you guys didn't know, Wes farmed the airdrop. I could have farmed the airdrop. He called me, said, hey, you should get on here. You should use Hype. You should do this. He gave me the warning. He gave me the calls. But at the time in life, I had way too much shit going on. I was kind of away from the computer for a couple of weeks. It happens. It was just real life got in the way of that. So I wasn't able to farm it. Now looking back, I wish the hell I did. Wes did very good on the airdrop, and that is probably one of my most bullish projects for this run, dude. And it showed up on Lark's video today, Wes. Just so you know, Lark started talking about Hype today. It was the first time I heard him actually say the name. Which means he's going to be pushing it. When it goes that big, you want to make sure your bags are fully packed. Yeah. But I think that we should definitely have you look at some Lux Algo on Hype when you're done with this. But absolutely.
For sure. And we're still going to make the video, right? We're going to make a separate video with Hyperliquid, and
that's why I just put a tweet out saying we want to look at Lux Algo on the action. Yeah. But GMB just said we're not OGs until we go through 2 cycles.
He's fair. An OG.
Fair play.
He's an OG.
GMB's OG.
He is an OG. Yeah, we'll do the hyper because a lot of people are asking about it. They don't even really know how to get in yet. There was the mix up between the layer 1 and bridging it to the DEX or whatever. Yeah. Now they've made it super simple, so I think it's a perfect time to do a Hyperliquid video and just kind of cover the chains or whatever. And I think I told you that I talked to Hyperswap, one of the guys over there. I was reaching out to them for the Prime Apes or whatever, and those guys are fucking cool as shit. They're on Hyperliquid. They're on the
Hyperswap
EVM.
Is dope, dude. I used it to get my all right buddy coins, and it was the easiest shit I've ever done. If trade went through like that, it was hyper. Let me tell you something about Hyperliquid. Why I'm so freaking bullish as a crypto user. Holy shit. Yeah, the bridge thing is tough, but every chain goes through that when they're.
But now they have the bridges, though.
Now the bridges are good. Every infrastructure's built, dude.
MetaMask is picking up on it.
The fastest transaction I've ever had on like layer 2, like the whole prime apes. When I bridged the prime apes over, holy shit,
Boom.
dude, that was cool. It was
Oh,
so
yeah.
easy. Like, yeah, dude, those
And the
guys are
primates,
legit.
so
They know what they're doing.
Primates just partner with Catballio or whatever. They just partner with them. I guess I could say we just partner with Catballio and that whole team over there, man. So that is super cool, man. If you can afford to get your primates, get one, y'all. It's on drip.trade. They finally went live on Drip Trade.
Oh, that's
the
awesome.
The art is fucking dope, dude.
Yeah, I like what they did. They transformed our prime apes and gave them a clear upgrade.
Yeah,
shout out to Thade and the prime apes, you guys, for real.
Man.
We've been actually friends with them since we started the channel back in 2021.
Yeah.
And they have made massive calls. When Thade speaks, listen, because even if you don't have a prime apes, I'm going to give you a life hack. Follow Thade, okay? Because sometimes he gives you breadcrumbs and he'll give you freebies without owning the prime ape. Not saying that you should do that. A prime apes will get you in the Discord, it'll get you in the alpha shit, but follow Thade over at Prime Apes. Pay attention to the G's. If you guys want to get better at crypto, if you want to get better at anything, follow people that are good at what you're trying to learn. It's amazing.
He called one of those Hypeos. That's how I got the alpha on Hypeo. He called one of the Hypeos. Those things are worth, the floor hit like 1.8 ETH the other day, dude. You know I'm pulling my fucking hair out right now.
Well, we've been so bruised. We've been so bruised with NFTs, bro. I got over 250 NFTs sitting in my wallet that ain't worth shit.
Me too.
So I just retired from the NFT trading game, and then of course I finally get a couple that are actually doing something, and I don't want to sell them.
Right.
So screw NFTs, man. If you guys can trade NFTs,
by all means,
I want to have you on the show as a guest, because I think it's like a diamond in the rough type shit. I don't know.
Yeah. I think it's more of being in like the circles, man. You got to know.
You got to know
doing what
exactly.
And I mean, the prime apes are on top of that, dude. They got a lot of OGs in there, like true OGs, real traders. A lot of alpha in there, man. So I would definitely go get a prime apes if you can afford to get one. Oh, Lux Algo, let's do it. Has anybody said anything about any tokens that we should look at?
Well, other than we should take a look at Cardano, just because it had a major move up.
Yeah,
it's having a retrace now, little tiny retrace, I think, if I'm correct. I don't know, I could be wrong.
So before I exit this, though, man, I think I'm gonna do a trade. If you're watching, guys, this is kind of my recommendation. Just like 20 seconds of looking at this move altogether. I think we come down lower, and I would look to take a trade back around 84.8 to that 87, the 0.618 or the 0.5, have that candle come down. And I think that would be a nice trade, man. But because everybody's looking at that level right now. Lux Algo.
Guys, make sure you hit the like and subscribe if you're just tuning in. It helps the channel out. Doesn't cost you but a second.
All right. Lux Algo. Look, and we've fallen out of that range here. We're back at that the wick. And it looks like we're falling through. You might be able to get a short end down to 84, 85. But I think we bounced there.
Wow, we're right in that whale pocket, dude. From that last little blip, we're right in that pocket right now.
Yep. We're sitting right at that liquidity wick from back here. Let's see if it holds up, man. I don't think it will. I think we go back to 84, 85.
That's kind of what I was expecting, just from the price action over the weekend and shit. And what was my call? Remember, my call was 81. I said we're going to probably end up around 81 again, and maybe that short takes us there. But that's a lot, man. That's almost two bears, because I wasn't expecting us to go to 92 so quick. I knew we bounced, but damn, we bounced by 80. We bounced by $12,000. Bitcoin's price moved by 12 grand overnight. So yeah, that was a massive correction from the CME gap. And I knew it was going to happen when it bounced, but I wasn't, even I thought it would be slightly less. I didn't think it was going to be that aggressive of a bounce up. That was a massive bounce, dude.
Yeah. So Lux Algo, we've hit target 1 and target 2, sitting at 88.8 now. Looks like we are on our way down. And I probably should put that little box up right here just so we can see it, because I mean we're right there, dude.
Zone. Yeah, that freaking whale zone. It's almost like we should lower the bottom of that blue box, because that whale blip over there is, yeah. That way we can see it. These sneaky bastards. See, this is how these whales do, you guys. They make it very difficult to chart anything. That's their job. The market makers are trying to trick you with information. They want you to look at what they want you to see, and that's what they do. So you have to kind of know their little tricks. But that's a whale blip over there to the far left. And we're sitting right in that pocket, which means we're at a level controlled by a whale. And if the whale wants to open the floor and say you can go down, or he wants to go back up, I think he's got room to do either option, which is what the market makers want. They want the option to go, well, where do we want to go now? And I think they're in that perfect spot right now where they could do whatever they want. They kind of got us where they want us right now, but it's a beautiful place to maybe try to trade a little bit, but more so take advantage of the buying opportunity. It doesn't really matter what we do over the next couple of weeks or month, you guys. This is still your last chance to accumulate before the last leg of the bull run. So keep that in mind. Keep that in perspective. If you're new to crypto and you just came into the market, you need to get in quickly, and you're going to probably have to get out fairly quickly because the euphoric stage is coming. So, you know, unless you want to round trip your bags, and I don't recommend that.
Yeah.
Not fun.
All right, so Lux Algo hit both targets. Hopefully these things don't readjust. I mean, the smart trail's red, bearish. The trend catcher is bearish. You can see it's kind of giving us that resistance level up here around the same area that we were looking at. And it's on the way down. I mean, we'll see. We're touching this whale zone. Siri called it the whale zone. I like that. We're touching this whale zone right now. Let's see if we can stay above it. But overall, man, I think both of these targets got hit. And I'm expecting, again, for 85, 84, and then possibly bounce if we don't bounce right here on the top of that. But that's the targets for Lux. We did get our green momentum oscillator. We did get our green dot on that. That signals a reversal. So that kind of went into play, and it is green. It is going to the upside. Money flow is still in the red, but it looks like it's slightly curving. Looks like we peaked right here. But you can see that threshold, man. We were deep into the threshold, and we're starting to come out of it now. So let's see, man. Let's see if this is the reversal that we've been waiting for. We'll see. That's all I got for Lux Algo, man.
I love where the price target is for Lux, because it's showing you the reality of possibly coming back down to that 85 whatever level, right? Am I looking at that right?
Yeah, that's it's 80,000.
Yeah.
80,000.
So and again, what did I say the other day with the candle? I said, candle up, candle down. Market makers love that shit because everybody gets bullish at the end of that candle move. Johnny calls Timmy when he's at work and says, "Hey man, Bitcoin's on the move again. Go ahead and buy it." And then Timmy goes in and leverage longs his allowance for freaking $100 and 100x's. It gets wiped out in 5 minutes. Market makers wreck you right back down on the next candle. So just keep in mind, if you're an inexperienced trader, I would watch more of Wes and I's show and other people trading shows, and really familiarize yourself with it before you just jump in. Because I think if you don't know basic investing rules and you think you're going to go and day trade and you're going to make $1 million, be careful. It doesn't
happen that way, dude.
Be careful, bro.
It does not happen that way. I think we've both learned the hard way of how it actually works. But yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. Let's see if Lux Algo readjusts these targets. I'll keep an eye on it, post it on X. So make sure you guys are following us. But yeah, these targets are from when this call was made. And you can see everything flipped right here, and that caused our capitulation. So let's see, man. We need to get back above. So for this to flip and for the trend catcher to flip, we need to get back above 97, that $98,000 level. And then we could see a potential buy order come in or buy signal come in, and then get our confirmation from the other, what are they called? I'm losing myself here. Indicator, sorry. So yeah.
And that was the most important segment, you guys, because I hadn't looked at charts in the last 24 hours at least. So I was just kind of like, man, I haven't even seen action yet. But I think we got a good synopsis where we're at and kind of what's going to happen in the short term. We know what's happening in the long term. Short term, we're not too concerned, even if we're saying we get a correction down to 84.
Yeah.
It's not a big deal, guys. Look, you're in that range, man. 80 to 100,000. Just like I said, keep that range in your head. That way, if you go anywhere in that range, you're not panicking. You're not like, oh shit.
Yeah.
You know, keep those bigger ranges in mind always when you're trading or DCAing. And to be honest with you, if you're buying Bitcoin between $80 and $100,000 in 3 to 5 years from now, it's not going to, like, who gives a shit? If you're holding it, you're going to be in the money. Like, you're going to be in the money. So
yeah, on the 4 hour, man, on the 4 hour, we just got a sell signal here, but nothing else has confirmed that. We got our buy signal back there. A lot of times this smart trail will come up when you see it flip bullish and it starts to come up. That'll act as like a retest to go long. So nothing's confirmed this sell signal yet. We still have our smart trail bullish and our trend catcher is bullish. Let's see if we can come down. That's going to be 84,000. It's going to be 84 to 85, like I was saying on a retrace. Let's see if we come down. That could be a good entry to take us to our targets up here between 97 and 99, 97 and 100K.
I love that, dude. I love the move from here down to 84, cool off, retouch previous resistance, touch it, flip it as support, and then roll back up to 97, hit our head one more time at 97, and come back down. Dude, you guys, we're calling a week ahead right now. We're thinking 1 week, 2 weeks ahead right now, but you're watching the candles play out in the daily. So what Wes just gave you, I think I agree with 100%. I think 84, 85, whatever that is, the top of that previous resistance. Yeah. I think we should flip that as support. You know, maybe you'd short down to that if you want, and then long right after you hit that son of a gun. Just be careful because we don't know what the market makers are really doing yet. We still got to watch this floor. There's still a floor underneath of us that a whale owns, and if he at any time hits that red button and says, hey, market makers, or if Zelensky and if any of that shit happens, you got a lot of things you got to keep in the back of your head. But even if that happens, you still should be DCAing because that ain't going to change. Even if something goes down, it's not going to really damage Bitcoin. You'll get a temporary dip. And people say it's all over with, but that could be your 2020 opportunity if that were to happen. I'm not saying it is. I'm just saying if that were to happen, that would be your once in a lifetime type opportunity to go nuts.
For sure, man. For sure.
Hype.
All right, we'll get into some hype.
I'm getting hyped, dude.
Let's see. Where is hype? I know I have it on here. Boom. There it is. There it is. Hyper liquid.
Let's go, baby.
Let me see. We're on 11. So let me set the chart here. All right. So it looks like we just made on the 4 hour. This is the 4 hour. On the 4 hour, it looks like we're kind of building up a bear flag, actually. On the 4 hour, hype is sitting at $18K or $18.
Nice little scoop.
Oh my god, dude! Yeah,
nice little scoop, you guys. Finally dipped under $20. My god,
yeah.
With all the shit that's been going on, it's hype's like, nope, I'm staying at 20. Like it's been ruthless. Here, yeah. So finally breaking below 20.
Lux Algo actually has targets to $13, we'll say $14, 14 to 16.5. That is what Lux is calling. Everything has been confirmed. So we could drop down to there. That would be a good opportunity, dude. And you can see our reversal zone. That little green shade is down there as well. So could be a good opportunity on hype. If you're looking for a short real fast, I think that could be a good one for you if we don't hold up here. Let's see. I think that's a zone somewhere else too.
That's pretty. See, now that looks more bullish to me, that last pattern you have pulled up, but
yeah. So this is that previous swing high. A lot of people have been calling for this when we initially first came out. That is $17. That's kind of like where we're sitting at right now. And then the bottom of that is going to be the $13 area. So That's
Oh, wow.
probably why Lux is calling that. We might not go all the way there, but I mean 17K, or excuse me, this isn't going to be accurate because my number's not right. But you know, I'm talking about when I have to change the number up here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But between
this isn't right. Let me.
But guys, for perspective, keep it in mind. Whenever if you're gonna buy a t-shirt and you really want the fucking t-shirt, if the t-shirt is $13 or $17, are you really gonna say, I'm not buying it because it's 17? I'm gonna wait for it to go down to $13. Or are you gonna stop bitching and put the extra couple bucks in and just no matter where it is? I'm not saying don't wait for it for a bigger entry. What I'm saying is if there's a
Right
coin
now
you
is a
want,
good entry too. Yeah.
yeah, if there's a coin you want and you're at the top part of the range and it may go a little lower, maybe you don't go all in on the coin right away in case it does go lower, and then you have some money on the side to go in. But what you should think of is that range is a great range to buy. So anywhere between 13 and 17, in my opinion, is a golden opportunity for hype. And I'm going to be accumulating. That's probably the only coin I'm accumulating right now.
I'll be honest with you, man. I think 17 is probably 17, 16 is probably the lowest that we'll get on this.
I
man.
know you might not get 13. You might not get it.
You might not, but that is a level that we can't ignore. It was where we kind of bounced here, closed here in the back. That's the only reason why people are talking about that level. It's because that's the only support that we have up under us, right? So everybody's looking at that little area that we bounced on when we first came out. We're putting in a massive bullish divergence on the oscillator matrix, and it looks like momentum shifted. We just got our green dot. So we'll see, man. Maybe a fake out back down a little bit to 17, and then hopefully
you could get
up.
Yeah, you could get, this could be one gigantic, I almost want to call it a triple bottom, because you got the first candle, 1, the middle chunk, 2, well, not really there. I would count that first 1, 2, and 3. So it'd be like, yeah, a scam. You know what? The other thing is, though, if Lux Algo is calling for a dip on hype, why would hype just have a sell-off from 17 down to freaking 13 right now for no reason? In other words, what if Lux Algo is also taking into consideration, just the basic structure, and the basic structure of every altcoin still follows Bitcoin? So I look at that as a warning, like I said, a magnifying glass. When you look at altcoins are nothing more than Bitcoin zoomed in. So really, what if this is a little macro, mini warning for us that Bitcoin goes to the downside? In other words, Lux is thinking Bitcoin's going to 84. Therefore, hype could go slightly down. That's why it's giving you the price targets. I don't know if Lux Algo takes that into consideration, but I'm taking that into consideration.
Yeah.
And, but either way, this is a hell of a zone to accumulate hype right now.
Yeah, I like it. I like it a lot. What is Solana, man? Solana back down at 151, dude. So that looks kind of tasty, even though it was getting a little hate on it over the last couple of weeks. I still think it flies, dude. I still think it runs. And actually,
they're trying to make it look like a double top. Look at this shit. Look at these market makers. Like, oh, it's a double top. Bear market. Bear market started. They're trying, boy.
Yeah, Solana's doing that move as well on the weekly. Finally punched through, and now we're hitting it again as support. So we could be at a support area for Solana right now. But there is that order block directly above us, directly below us, that's sitting, between 125 and 135. It looks like. So if you can get Solana at 125, that would be an excellent opportunity. Yeah.
The NFT, also the NFTs on hype that we're looking at. I was able to scoop one of the, what's it called? The cats.
The cats. Yeah, the cats.
Cat's the one, and I scooped some All Right Buddy. Have you looked at that yet? The All Right Buddy?
Yeah.
So they just got listed on CoinGecko that quick.
Did they? Wow.
So I was like, holy shit, I just scooped some the other day, and they're already grinding, man. Like good Ethereum tokens that I was in for 6 months or a year.
Yeah.
Like we're just getting listed on CoinGecko. So that shows me that the All Right Buddy team, as far as meme goes, they're all right, buddy. They're all right,
buddy. They're all right, buddy.
And that's all they say on Twitter all day long. Pretty funny.
Funny, dude. Yeah. Let's look at Cardano, man, and then see what's going on here. Cardano, and then I'm gonna have to run. I gotta go get him from school or whatever. Dude, that was a massive run up for Cardano, dude. I mean, look at that candle, dude. Huge candle, and then we made a newer high
might
here.
Come all the way back down to the bottom of that green.
It might. It's looking like it could, man. Just like Solana, it looks like we're getting a little bit of support. Yeah, we're kind of pushing it, something like that.
Not saying I want it to do that, but what I'm saying is the market makers love this chop zone because they wreck all the traders. You get a big move up like that, and then they can bring it all the way back down. And then what they do is they blow your esteem out of the water, and then you just quit and you leave the space forever. And then new investors come in and rinse, repeat. They make money off of noobs. And so you got to be careful with that. But that chart looks a little different. What is that one?
This is the daily. I'm trying to get my shit lined up here. Give it accurate on Cardano. All right, so Cardano is still under that buy signal from back here. Look, in the capitulation, dude, we didn't really.
That could be a healthy retest. Dude. Yeah, this could be a healthy retest, actually.
Cardano is strong, man. I mean, look how it held up this area here. Well, I drew it wrong, but you can kind of see like the zone I'm talking about. Didn't quite hit it, but
it could be a breakout and then a retest on the top level of the line. It could be.
Yeah. So Lux Algo has its calls all the way up to $1.24, and what is above that? And then $1.35. So $1.25 to $1.35 call on Lux Algo. I would look to see if we come back and get our support here. Where is the 0.5? Yeah. Not too much longer. It is.
All the coins are showing that, dude. Solana, Cardano, they're all showing just a very slight more pullback. And honestly, if Bitcoin pulls back to 84, Cardano will pull back to 88 cent, whatever. They'll all follow Bitcoin. So that makes sense, dude. It makes sense.
Yeah, I would look for, if you're looking to trade Solana, I would look for it to come down just a little bit more, maybe, and then put your long in. But if you're just looking to buy, right now is a good time to buy. 87 cents is a good time to buy. 75 cents, good time to buy. So that's just one of those tokens that I think we all believe that is going to do really well this cycle.
And likewise, you guys, if you're just getting in the market and you just bought, let's say you just bought on this move up because you thought we were going all the way back to the moon already, don't get discouraged. If it takes a couple of times to learn that you don't buy on green days. Okay, first of all. Buy on red days, and if there's no red day and you're impatient, wait for one, go do something else. Go to the park, go play a sport, go fishing, do whatever the hell you do. Find something else to do to keep yourself busy until you get a red day, and then you go, oh, shit, there you go. And that's a good way to DCA.
I think that's it, man. Unless anybody else has something they want to look at, but I don't see anything.
Good viewership today. Thank you guys for tuning in from YouTube, showing up, showing out on YouTube.
Yeah, appreciate you guys.
Both of you,
yes,
and
two of you,
and X is killing it. We love our X fan because X is completely dominating, and I'm okay with that at this point.
They show up. Yeah, you got anything else you want to talk about before we kick rocks?
No, I think we went over price. We didn't do our price targets. Now.
Oh, price targets. Go ahead.
All right, price target for Thursday.
You want me to bring up the EMA one, or?
Yeah, that would help.
All right, let me.
Just because my brain is used to gauging it off of that. That's Ethereum. We ain't even gonna look at Ethereum.
Right.
Ethereum holders are pissed off right now, bro. But don't give up on ETH, man. I'm telling you, that's the little dirty little secret of the Trump administration. With World Liberty has been scooping the shit out of Ethereum. So don't sleep on Ethereum, you guys. It's still gonna. Ethereum's not over with at all. Ethereum is not done, you guys.
Right. All right. What you got, man?
What are we on here? What are we looking at?
This is Bitcoin, the daily.
Okay, daily. All right. I think the finishing of this candle here, that candle today is obviously going to close at 8 o'clock. And then so you're coming down. This is tough, man. I hate this. I hate when the market makers are right at the end of like one big move up, then one big move down, because then you're like, shit, where are they going next? This is a tough call. But in 3 days' time, coming into a new week, I think we see more pain to the downside temporarily, short term, you guys. That doesn't mean I'm getting bearish, but I do think that Wes's target of 84,000 is definitely going to hit. I don't know when it's going to hit. This is the one thing you learn in investing. It's hard to predict when something's going to hit. So these predictions are more for fun. Please don't open trades on our fun calling thing. We do this shit just for fun. It's just between me and Wes to joke around. And if you guys are in the chat, put your calls too, because we do it every week, Monday and Thursday. But my call is going to be shit, man.
Oh, my bad.
I think we go to 84, or, I still think that the 81 level shows some confluence. And if we go to 84 and they stall it for, let's say, in the next 24 hours, then we have Wednesday, Thursday. This is my logic behind it. If we go to 84 and then we have Wednesday, Thursday, you got bearish attitudes because everyone's pissed off again. I think you could see $82,000 Bitcoin, $81,000 to $82,000 on the bearish side. My bullish side would be, let me pull this other one up so I can see it a little closer. My bullish side actually would be, wait a minute, this isn't right. We're at 86,000 right now.
Yeah,
okay.
We just bounced on the 0.5. I'm watching it, 86.6.
Okay, so son of a bitch.
So
would they run us back to 92? Would they run us back up to 92 before Thursday, or would they keep this going down? I'm going to say because we're so close to that $84,000 range, that happens between, man, I don't want to call first. Why don't you make your call first, dude? This is bullshit, man.
So we just hit the 0.5 on the daily, and we got a nice bounce on it, but I do think we're going back to that 84K, the 0.618. I think we wick to the 84K, 0.618. If we wick to the 86.4, then I think we're back above 90. I'm going to say 92,000 by Thursday. But my gut tells me we're just going to bounce around. Like you said, there's not a lot of trading going on here. So maybe we bounce off of the 84, come back and trade in between, these two levels would be 91 to 89. Maybe we trade alongside that for a little bit. But my call for Thursday is going to be 92,000.
All right. My call is going to be pretty boring because I think we're going to come down to 84, hit it, and then we're going to bounce back up. And I think we'll be kind of where we are now. I think we'll be at 87. I'm going to say 88 just to pick a good number. So that's going to be my call. These are not trade setups, you guys.
These are not trade setups.
These are friendly. These are just friendly calls between us guessing, because one thing about investing, you never know when something's going to get some. You can call levels, but it's very difficult to know and give a time frame of when the level's going to hit. So don't ever think that you can do that. Even when you're trading, it's tough. So be very careful with that. But thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe, all that good jazz. I think Wes has got to get going. I got to get going too.
Yeah, man.
Another show Thursday night at 7 o'clock. Make sure you guys are here. Tune in, please. And we will keep the fire content coming. And we may be jumping on some spaces this week now that I'm back home. Wes and I, we're in the chat with CT. Nothing's changed. We're still going to get him on the show when things kind of calm down with everyone's schedule. So we still got that on the wraps. We still got Shred still in the kitchen cooking. We're still cooking. I still got my liquidity in the CT pool. I did not take anything out. On those last dips, I didn't take shit out. So I still have my CT and my cook over there chilling. Even with all that Meteora shit that happened. Yeah. That's the exact exchange where all that shit happened. I left my cook and CT on there cooking. I don't give a shit. So we're still bullish on our projects that we're bullish on. Overall, don't get discouraged. You see how quick things can turn around, you guys. And just that quick, will be at 120 before
Yep.
you know it. And you're not gonna remember this shit. You're gonna be like, oh,
Right.
remember when it was 86,000? Everyone,
Yeah.
you're not even gonna care because everything's
Right.
gonna be cruising, man. And those
Yeah.
days are coming. So keep your heads up.
All right, guys, that's going to do it. Make sure you're following us on all socials at the Crypto Remora. Make sure you're following Siri at Siri Crypto and myself at Crypto MacGyver. Much love. And until next time, Dirt Talkie, what's up, man? Until next time, peace out, guys.